Welcome to Spells from the Shelf. I'm Paul.
I'm Ammie.
And today we're doing Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. You may have already even seen the movie.
I know I did. Which I will not be discussing the movie until the later part of this. So we're going to do the typical style here. We're going to go through the summary, characters, some themes, and then we're going to do the fun spoiler part of this. Spoilers. I'm really glad. Okay. I'm really glad that I got one that is the original and not, the one that has the actual character from the movie on it. I am a little bummed that it says soon to be a major motion picture.
I always hate that on books. Like, I don't sell it. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
I deliberately will not buy a book that says that.
And you know what? They leveled it up. They printed it on. They did not do a sticker. They were like, you will keep this for all of eternity.
Well, I hate the stickers too. So.
Oh, the stickers are the worst. Getting them off is...
I mean, for people that need to get them off without all the sticky stuff, hair dryer, just like a light hair dryer, up the glue and it comes off. But it's extra hassle that I don't really want in my life. Like, or fix the adhesive.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely agree. So the summary of this is not going to be a spoiler. It's very important to the whole picture of the story that you're getting into and the characters. So Ryland Grace is our main character here. He's our main protagonist. And I love that he's a school teacher. So when we meet him, he's a school teacher. He teaches 8th grade, right? Yes. Yeah. So he teaches the middle school ages, and he's approached by the government to help with the issue that they have at hand, which is that the sun is dying. Why is the sun dying? What is causing it? Can they fix it? And that's where his kind of scientific mind comes into play, because he wrote an article.
Well, an academic paper, like an academic white paper.
Yes.
Because I look at academic white papers all the time in my current role in corporate America. So there's like these repositories, right? And you could find repositories of like finance, of science, of blockchain, of whatever you want. There's like these academic scientific repositories of data. And his was on that life doesn't need water,
right,
in life. So that's why he gets picked. And I thought it was really funny how like everybody in his all his peers and colleagues like really dismissed him after that. They were like, "You're out of your mind. This is awful." But
yes,
this is why he gets chosen.
It is, yes, because it shows a tenacity to just stand in the face of so many people disagreeing with him on it, to the point where that's why he is a school teacher, because he essentially got laughed out of his field. That's pretty much what ended up happening. So that's where we meet his character. And what I liked about his character is he kind of encapsulates a scientist, but a quirkier scientist, like very personable, very funny. He has great humor, great sarcasm. I mean, if you're somebody who really enjoys sarcastic humor, this book is riddled with it. It is. It's like riddled with great sarcasm.
And great humor all around. That's not sarcastic. I don't remember laughing out loud in a book ever. There's so much humor in here, sarcastic and otherwise, where there are moments, whether you're listening to the audio, which I would recommend, or just reading, that I was screaming in laughter over some of the scenes with Strat, over some of the scenes with our sidekick, our other hero.
Yeah.
We meet an alien, guys. That's it. I'm blowing it up.
Yes, that is a big part of it. Part of
the story.
Yeah,
so I won't give any more in this section, but
it is a huge part of the story. And I think what's really great about this is you have a really heavy theme. This is when I presented this book to Polly, I said it's a really heavy theme wrapped up in humor, which is very I think that would be so difficult to do, but I gotta say Andy Weir does a fantastic job of it, because the sun is dying, which means that Earth will eventually itself start to die, and millions of people will die, and there'll be a food shortage and all of the above, and it paints this really apocalyptic future of the world. But at the same time of it being very serious and very high stakes, he manages to keep that tone of lightness and humor throughout it. It goes so hand in hand with it.
He's like this classic reluctant hero. He's chosen to do this thing. He doesn't really want to do it. As they go through the training, he gets brought on by one of my favorite characters, Strat, who's just in charge of running the world. Absolutely ruthless pragmatist. So the ruthless pragmatist meets the reluctant hero, and they have to. So back onto the synopsis train, right? The world is ending with this heavy theme. The sun's dimming. Astrophage is taking up the radiation, and what's going to happen is it's going to cool. Earth is going to cool, which is really funny because we're in like this global warming event, right?
Yeah.
But actually cooling that's going to kill it. There's some fun like flips around things. It's like, well, now we have to figure out how to add more greenhouse gases to the world to maybe warm it up.
Yes.
But what they find is that how astrophage migrates, but there's one planet, Tau Ceti, that's immune to the astrophage.
Yes.
Or maybe not immune, but we don't know why this star is not being dimmed. So the mission is, we're going to go out to this planetary system. It's Tau Ceti. And we're going to find out why.
Yes. And the other part that comes into play, which I'll speak on more later, is before Ryland Grace gets brought into the even upper echelon of the top secret part of this world that he's now just been thrust into. And he didn't want to do it. The best part is when he is approached, he's very much the stereotypical reluctant hero, because he's like, I don't want to do any of this. And they're just opening the door and they're like, yeah, well, you're gonna do this. That's great. I don't care, which is very much Strat's personality. She listens to what you're saying, but does not care about what you're saying, because she has one goal in mind, and that is to save the Earth. And she stays on target with that throughout. She maintains how important it is. And Ryland Grace is kind of, like Paul said, very much her opposite. Mm-hmm. And he has to figure out why this specific line, what is causing them to go to Venus, because that's one of the lines that they have. And it brings in, here's what I thought was interesting about the plot and most of the story is it's very scientific in nature. It has a lot of science in it. It has a lot of problem solving of science. It brings that into the story. I was not as bored as I thought I was going to be.
Oh yeah, there are no boring parts in this book. Like, I was talking to my mom about this book, and the science part kind of turned her off a bit. But I got to say, like, for somebody that's not a scientist, it was light enough. Some of the explanations get detailed, but they always stay fun and accessible. I think, as science is one of the core themes. But we're in the sci-fi land, right? So it should be. It belongs here. And you've got problem solving as one of these other themes, right? Like, how do I fix this before I die?
Yes.
Like, he keeps saying that, and you're up in space. It's funny. Like, I feel like a lot of the times when a little kid's asked what he wants to do, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to be an astronaut." I think about being an astronaut now, and I'm like, that sounds very isolating. That sounds very all by myself. And isolation is one of these key themes in the book too.
Yes.
I don't know if I want to be that far away from Earth, looking down. Like, I bet the view is great, but I'm good down here.
I gotta tell you, a fun random fact about me is I am petrified of space. Petrified. Like, guys, just zoom out for a second, okay? I know that we're on the planet Earth. Okay, we're on the planet Earth, but
breaking.
My brain thinks in the bigger picture. We are floating in nothingness. Okay. I need everybody to really grasp onto that for a second. We are just another floating planet in a sea of nothingness. And there are people who are afraid of the ocean. There's actually like a fear, I think it's called thalassophobia or something, where deep waters in the middle of nowhere and the nothingness underneath them frightens them. But for me, it's space. I can't watch movies like that. There's a movie with Sandra Bullock where she's just floating around Earth. I can't do it. It's my biggest illogical fear.
Clowns. It's not clowns for you, but it's this one. It's space. It's like floating around in nothing. Get me out of here.
Yeah. Yes. No, I can't do it. And you do feel that. And I have been on a very interesting running isolation theme in my reading journey. I read Alchemize, then we read Assassin's Apprentice. I think this was a good one to end my isolation journey on. I need to take a break from isolation because it's very lighthearted. So I don't think this is going to make you feel bad at all.
No. Such a great.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is not a book that ends in a bad way. It's not a book that's heavy themes, but like the whole time it feels like you're just riding this laughter wave and this interesting, engaging wave. So.
Yeah. And one of the big themes that I'll say before we move on to the spoiler section, because some of the themes in this book are spoilers, is the very personal cost of saving the world. We read a lot of heroes in the genre of sci-fi and fantasy. And while we have come across a number of reluctant heroes, I think Ryland Grace is one of those ones that was just very, very real. Because I don't think many of us would be like, yeah, sign me up to possibly die.
Well, Ryland did not sign up, right?
No.
Yeah. So as we kind of go in there, but he did not sign up. He was initially just brought on because it's like we think we might have life without water. And yeah. So as we kind of segue into the spoiler section,
I think it's actually a good segue into the spoiler section.
All right.
So, I think it's actually a perfect segue. So because a lot of the themes, feel free when you guys read it to come back and listen to the rest of this because it's going to be spoiler central.
Spoiler, Ryland goes to space. It's the whole story. If you've seen the trailer of the movie, you know this already.
Yes.
Not a big spoiler here. But yeah, our reluctant hero did not choose to go in, so there's the reluctant part. But he does end up there. But he's also uniquely suited, right? We find out that he's got this coma gene. We find out that, he's exactly the right person to do and to rescue humanity through science.
And here's the thing is as you're reading the book, it's very last minute that he ends up having to go to space because they have an engineer, a pilot, and a scientist. So 3 people are designed to get on the ship and go and head to this star, the only star that is not dying from the astrophage. And it takes, how long was it again that they were going to be there? Like years. Like the trip is like.
Oh yeah, it took over 3 years.
Yeah.
Part of the book where there's like all these studies that if you just have 3 people in space over the course of the 3 years, like they're going to get depressed and then everybody knows it's a suicide mission. So they're just going to be like attacking each other. So yeah, I mean, I think it's longer than 3, but 3 was like the ceiling for that study. I remember.
Yes. And I think that's why the timeline is a little fuzzy in my head, but it's a very long time. And you do realize how much is at stake because it's a one-way trip. You're not, when the 3 people were getting onto the ship, they knew it's a one-way ticket. They're not coming back because actually they use the astrophage to fuel the trip to get there, which is also kind of funny. The thing that's killing the star ends up being the thing that will take them to another star. Tell me about how you like the opening, right? Well, I just want to jump back to the opening for a second because we've talked about like amnesia before on Spells from the Shelf and how like maybe sometimes it gets overused, but
I was totally entranced by the opening of the book with the amnesia theme. I mean, did you go for it? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, I like amnesia themes.
I thought it really worked. Like he's like feeling himself out. I thought it was excellently written
Yeah.
about why are my muscles like still really not atrophied.
And so since we are in the spoiler section, I will say, so one of the other times that we have seen the amnesia theme come up, guys, is in our When the Moon Hatched. That is a big major theme in it. And I liked seeing it done two different ways. This way is very it's almost like a mystery. It unravels very similar to like a mystery story. Like Paul said, like he wakes up, he doesn't know who he is, he doesn't know why he's there, and his crew is not alive. They did not make it. And it starts on a really depressing tone, which is very interesting to say because we've said how many times that this is such a good book. It's so feel good, but it does not.
The world is ending, guys. The world is ending.
And this is what I mean about Andy Weir. He manages to like give you the most depressing thing while also entertaining you in a lighthearted way.
And because how many people are thinking about the end of the world? You know, especially with the current state of everything going on in the world. Like the end of the world is a pretty popular theme, not only in books, but I think in our current climate. And I think coming at it with such a lighthearted, like it's zoomed out, right? Like you get the jokes, you get the humor, and you're totally riding along. But I agree with you, Ammie. It's masterfully done here.
It is. And I did enjoy the beginning of it. I liked how it was done because I like that aspect of, this is what I enjoy about mystery books, is I enjoy finding out with the character what's going on. Like, why are you here? What is happening? Because you don't. When you're plopped into this world, it's just you have no idea why he's on the spaceship. I don't read the blurbs, guys. I don't. When I first read this, I just read it.
Oh wow. Okay. So you don't even touch the blurbs. It's just like I'm going totally off my Insta feed hype.
Yes, because this was actually a book club pick. This is not pop up. I don't think this would have popped up for me otherwise. And something else I want to add is it's been a while since I had read before this. It had been a while since I had read science fiction. And I think this is a nice light way.
Yeah, your last read was Red Rising?
So Red Rising was actually after this.
Okay.
So this was my first light introduction. And I got to say, it is a nice light. It's not super heavy. You understand what's going on. It's a standalone, which is great. You do not need to read any other books in order to understand this book. And when you leave it, you leave it.
I agree. Like isn't it so refreshing sometimes to just come to a book like that? It's like, I just want to be told a great story. That's what I'm here for. Tell me a great story, make me laugh, make me feel some emotion. Maybe I'm even going to have a little tear here, but like bring me along on this storytelling journey without the glossary, the index, the encyclopedia, the appendix, like it's just like come in for the story.
Yeah. And this is a great, if you've never read science fiction or it's been a while since you have read science fiction, I recommend on either front. Absolutely. Cause it's, and one that I will probably never read, but I did watch, because the fun fact about me is once I watch a movie or show and I don't know that it was a book first, I'm not going back.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know why. It's like, no, I'm good. I already did that.
Okay.
So Dune is one of those ones that I did not know was a book. I just went to see the movie, and Dune confuses the heck out of me. Most, like about 80% of the time I've seen both movies so far, I technically have no clue what's going on. I'm having a good time, but I really have no idea what's happening. Like, it's...
as we talk about, Dune's a great read, especially that first book. The second book, I think, historically and for me personally, was a little harder to kind of read. But the first book and the move with the HBO movies, well, they're on HBO. With the movies, the first movie only covers the first 250 pages of book one.
I heard that.
And then the next movie is like we're still in book one and predominantly. So I was like, I don't, and they didn't frame it that way. Like it's one thing, like Lord of the Rings did it, and then The Hobbit got
Right.
broken into three. So sometimes like you're kind of prepared going in, but I think a lot of people are so distant from Dune since when it was published in the 60s that they just did it this way, for marketing or whatever. But I would say that the book one is a spectacular sci-fi read for any of the audience out there, but I could see where the movie might not hit you.
And you know what? Yeah, the movie. And the thing is, since as we're in the spoiler section, in comparison, the book to the movie for Project Hail Mary, because I have seen it, it was very well done. Is it exactly to a T like the book? No, because we would be there. Look, as Paulie said, I did not know this. Apparently, only 250 pages of Dune was for the first movie.
How do you do like the art felt very strange in the movie to me. I was like, I'm not fully invested in these characters yet in the movie.
Right.
You're totally there. Like you're meet the Bene Gesserit and like there's all these things that kind of well you in. But again, going back to like this art of storytelling, I don't know if the movie really nailed Dune, especially the first movie. So to all the folks that saw the movie first and aren't really interested, the book's worth checking out.
That's interesting. Yeah, because it's a very hot topic. We've read this now that you guys are going to see. Onyx Storm, the Empyrean series, is also going to be a TV series, and there's a very real arching theme of adaptations and how it translates, and sometimes it doesn't hit. Like for you, Dune did not hit from book.
Shadow and Bone. I am
Shadow and Bone.
And that Netflix series, not for me.
Shadow and Bone is the exception to the rule so far. I read it after I saw the show.
Okay.
And that's because we were in Bardugo land with Six of Crows.
Wow. You're welcome. You're welcome, Ammie.
But in order to read King of Scars, I had to backtrack. We're on a side quest, guys. If you do go beyond Six of Crows, you can read just Six of Crows and not read anything else. But if you want to read the next duo, which is King of Scars and Rule of Wolves, you do have to go back to show. And I recommend. It is very different. Like Paul, like now I understand why people were upset. Because if you're just watching Shadow and Bone, it's a great time. but if you,
I don't think it was because it got canceled.
Well, it did get canceled because I think it had a very real following.
It still has a huge book following.
Yeah. So I think that really made a difference. And as we talk about Project Hail Mary here, how they overcome how Ryland Grace overcomes the isolation is he makes a friend.
Rocky!
I love Rocky. Okay. Imagine, if you will, audience, you're in space. And a spaceship, first of all, they did such a good job in the movie of getting this part of the spaceship where he sees it and he's trying to get away from the spaceship. It's following him. It's just really funny because he's petrified. He's like, what the heck? I don't need a friend.
So Rocky, like spider-like creature, right? Hard carapace. The eating scene. How was the eating scene?
So they're trying. So he meets this character, Rocky, and I gotta say, in the book, I loved that he was curious, but also a little like a little afraid, like a normal amount of like anxious, like, oh, like this could be an alien that like eats me.
Yeah, what's cool, like the way he determines it's like intelligent life, aside from the fact that there's the blip A.
Yeah.
This fancy spaceship. He does things with like the controls, right? So it's like, I'm going to wiggle the ship a little bit this way. And then, blip A, which is Rocky's ship, the alien ship, toggles this way. And they mirror each other really well. So he's like, all right, well, this person's or this alien extraterrestrial is clearly signaling that, the same things I'm doing. So I know it's intelligent.
Yes. Which was great. And they can't communicate with one another. So he can hear Rocky's And it what I liked about it is it's like music. So Rocky sounds like music.
Yeah, because he doesn't have eyes. He's got sonar. So
Yes.
if you're thinking about like how animals communicate with sonar, it was a great jump, like to make it like music is the language. It's these auditory sounds.
Yes. Which was perfect. And also math being another universal language that they're able to share. And Ryland Grace kind of figures that out. Like, how can we communicate with one another? Well, math should be the same everywhere. We should all have the same kind of like bridge here. And the way that they learn how to communicate, it takes away that isolation piece. Because, from the beginning of when we meet Ryland, he woke up, his space crew is dead. He then has to like shoot them out into the nether sphere. And he's just alone on this mission that he has to remember. And this is the key. Like, he has to even remember what the heck the mission is. And he has to piece all. So you're getting great jumps of past and present. That was done really, really well. So when he does meet Rocky, I kind of liked that he wasn't so much afraid as he was excited.
Yeah, he's definitely more excited. He definitely is scared when he first witnesses what Rocky looks like. He's like, "Oh, that is not what I was expecting." It's like this giant spider-like creature with all the arms. But it was fun. It's true. He was a lot more open to it, and I think that's what you'd expect from a scientist too, right? Like, okay, here's this totally new thing confronting me. How do I wrap my head around what is happening, what this creature is, how they communicate, what they do?
Yes. And I think I enjoyed how Andy Weir kind of like the theme here is friendship and how friendship can come from any place, from anyone, even if they are an alien life form or another human being. You can find friendship in somebody who you almost have nothing in common with.
Yeah, there's usually a common thread, though, right? Almost nothing in common. The commonality here is they're both emissaries from their planets to save
Right.
ultramasterophage. So there is that one commonality, and through that one commonality, they develop, this really powerful, impactful relationship.
Yes. And another key is that Rocky's crew also died.
Mhm.
So he has also been alone before he even meets Ryland Grace. It could have been completely and yes. And the thing is as they're learning about one another, one of the things that Paulie brought up is the eating. Like, how do you eat? Blah blah blah. First, it's really alarming. And watching it was hilarious because Ryan Gosling just nailed it.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling understood the assignment. He did. I knew that he would because he was fantastic as Ken in Barbie. So I knew that he was going to understand the assignment here because his look of horror as he watches Rocky eats.
Oh my God.
And the way that it is described in the book.
That's what I just remember the descriptions, right? The carapace opens and this like gray mercury like blob comes out. And then and what's really funny is, Rocky likes to watch Ryland Grace sleep, right? It's like a cultural thing. But Ryland Grace is really excited about watching Rocky eat. And Rocky's like, eating is private. Why you watch? Very rude. Very, very rude. And it's like Rocky's self-aware that it's like it's gross.
It's just so good. And here's the thing. So they're both they both help one another through scientific discovery figure out why this particular star is not dying. And I loved how they came up with it. Like, you watch them go through the motions, and the parts of the story with the past and the present still are creeping in here because it's important, because as you're learning about Ryland's character, because Rocky is trying to learn Ryland's character. He wants to know everything about him, and he thinks of him as brave. And Ryland didn't necessarily think of himself as brave because he was so reluctant. They had to, force him to get onto the spaceship when the other scientist died. He
Yeah.
did not want to go. He tried to escape. He was like, I'm not going to space. No, thank you.
He didn't even know it was number two, right? Strat kept it from him. He's like, what was it, Dubois? He's like, oh, you don't know you're the number two?
Yeah. Yeah. Kept it from it, which is very Strat. Like she has a mission in mind, guys. Her mission is to save Earth, and she will do it. She doesn't care. She knows that Ryland is reluctant about anything. Just getting him to come and help them with the science part. She that's what I liked about Strat's character is I feel like she was very good at reading people.
Yeah.
Like she knew that she was probably going to have to kidnap him if worse came to worse.
Yeah, my favorite scene is when Strat comes up against the prison guard in New Zealand, right? They're talking about they're about to pave the Sahara, and you're walking into the introduction of that scene, and they want to talk to this convict who embezzled money, but he wasn't. Yeah. So anyway, the prison guard is like, you can't come in with that weapon. And throughout the entire story, Strat's just, you get flashbacks of Strat. She just runs everything. She has all this power, right? This concentrated power to do anything she wants in the world with all of the nations, which is a heavy charge.
Yeah.
And the prison guard is like, well, you can call up the prime minister. He's going to tell you the same thing. You're not allowed in here with meetings. And Ryland's calling around. Ryland's like, why? Stop being an asshole. He's like, you're not magic. I forget, what is the magic quote? I've got it here somewhere. He's like, you're not magical. You can't just come in here and wave a wand. Like, this is it. This is the rules. Like, you still have to operate a rules-based system. And she basically flouts all the rules because of all of her power.
Yes.
I think the brave thing is a great call out with Ryland, right? Like, and I think this is one of the nice homages to teachers, right? His saving the day is not really based around bravery. It's competence based, right? He saves the day, not because he's the bravest person, but because he will not give up,
Yes.
right? That persistence, that perseverance. And I think, teachers have that. It can certainly be a thankless job, but it was a really great homage to teachers as we kind of as we talked about that earlier.
Yeah, it's something, it's not even just that he loved being a teacher. He loved it so much that he was okay with nothing changing about his world, which is why he was so reluctant to get into the car, because he's not somebody that is upset about how his life went, even though he got laughed out of his community.
His eighth graders were the reason that he ended up going. And
yeah. That's the only reason why he ended up going is because of them. And I think that's such a, like you said, it is such a nod to being a teacher, because there are a lot of teachers out there who that's their family. So that's the important thing to remember about Grace as we learn about his character from beginning to end, is that he doesn't have a family. He's it. What's interesting is I feel like he was almost built for isolation in his character development, because he is isolated except for outside of that teaching aspect of his world.
Yeah.
You don't really hear him talk about any friends that he's worried about saying goodbye to. He has no family. It's just him.
All right. So tell me, you had, we were talking about this earlier, and as we kind of come on the tail end here, what were your ratings here? Because you had two different ratings. I remember you saying. I
did. Yes. So I rated the book, even on the reintroduction, 4 stars. Solid 4 stars. And the movie 5 stars, because I liked that what they cut out of it, because again, guys, you would just be going on and on and on for hours and hours and hours. And this is a long movie. I think it was 3 hours by itself. So 5 stars, absolutely, because what they cut out was great cutouts. They did such a good job of transitioning the past and the present that's in the book, and how he meets Rocky and how they develop this friendship to the point where even when I was reading it, when Rocky saves him, because they were collecting a sample from the star, and Rocky had to save his life by practically hurting himself and Ryland wasn't sure if he was going to wake up or not. I cried.
Oh man, we had a tear moment.
I did. I cried when I read it. I cried in the movies because I always get nervous when I see the movie. I did. I turned to Patrick and I said, they're not going to ruin this for me, right? The director is not going to kill Rocky, right?
Change the story, are they?
Listen, because sometimes that happens, you know? Sometimes they take creative liberties, and I got a little worried, guys. Okay, got a little worried because you never know.
Yeah, no, I love this book too. I'm giving this one 5 stars. I just it caught me off guard. And that's always kind of the best way to come into a book sometimes. The laughter, the storytelling, the emotional investment you have in the characters, like, again, a lot like the Black Tongue Thief. Like, this is the reason you come in to read it, in my mind, right? Just a great story, lots of unexpected moments. Overall, just definitely hit this up. Even if you've seen the movie, I think. What would you say, Ammie? Would you?
Oh, for sure.
You would see the movie and then maybe read the book?
Yeah.
Breaking one of your rules?
It's definitely one of those ones where I've even debated, because The Martian is another one. I watched the movie first, not knowing, and it's one of my favorite movies. It's another great movie, and he wrote it, and that's actually how I knew his name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember The Martian, Andy Weir. But yeah, I had no idea about this book.
I absolutely recommend people read it. Whether they've seen the movie or not, I think it's such a great moment. What did you think of the end?
I thought it was spot on. Like, sometimes the endings don't hit right. But I thought, him teaching Eric was like, yes, that's exactly right. That's a beautiful full circle moment.
Did you notice how it's ambiguous?
I don't know. I didn't feel like it was. I mean, maybe it is. I didn't feel. To me, that's the way it ended for me.
You're like, you live on this planet.
Yeah. Tell me what you thought of the end.
So I felt it was ambiguous, and I felt the ambiguity reading it and seeing it. And actually, it's funny. The reason why I had rated it 4 stars and I kind of held true to it is because I did not like the ending.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that interesting? I did not hate it. Okay. I did not hate it. I felt, I've thought about it a lot this morning before we started this recording. Like, what bothered me about it is I wanted a definitive answer. And sometimes ambiguity, leaves my mind to travel too far, because Rocky asks him and says, like, we can send you home now. Like, we can get your ship to go home now. Because this is the thing, guys. The theme of friendship here, that he's developed, he chooses bravery in that instance. He wants to save Rocky's life. So they collect the sample.
It's the Beatles. Yeah.
Yeah. He collects the sample and he finds out that it could eat his ship and end up killing him. So he decides to send the samples back to Earth.
Turns around and chases after his buddy.
Yes, to save his life. And because of that, he uses all of the fuel that he had that was supposed to get him home. So that's how he ends up on Rocky's planet. Now, you do find out Rocky does tell him in the book. So here's where it's different book to movie. And this is why I rated the movie higher. So in the book, Rocky just says the star, we checked, your planet's star, which is our sun, and it seems to be back up to its normal level. So that means that the samples got back okay, Earth is okay. In the movie, what I liked is you see Strat one more time watching the recordings of Ryland Grace. And I thought that was really nice that ended up getting in there into the movie. Because I do like to kind of see that. And I think what bothered me is when he got asked if you want to go back to Earth, at first I was upset about it because why wouldn't you? But then I thought about it just today and I said, well, what did he have? aside from teaching. He didn't have any friends, he didn't have any family, but on this planet, he has teaching friends and family, because I think of this as a really good found family moment.
Yeah. So which part was ambiguous for you?
That part, because you never know. Like, it kind of, he gets left on this planet, but he could eventually go home. We don't know. That's what I felt was ambiguous.
Oh yeah. Oh, because there's like a slight melancholy about like not seeing Earth, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, to me, like I it didn't feel super ambiguous to me. I didn't see the movie, so only the book. I was like, oh, that's it. Like he's hanging out teaching an Erid. Like he's teaching kids. He's having a ball with the aliens. There was that piece where it's like, maybe he goes back to Earth. To me, that felt like, maybe we get like a book two or something. I don't know. I know it's standalone, but I would like to me that's where it was like maybe they could do that if they want. Like he left room for it, but I didn't feel like the ending was ambiguous.
I
But
did some,
we don't get like Earth's recovery, right? We get that strat,
right.
piece. So I do feel like I wonder what happened there.
Right. Yes. That part is, you do feel a little bit more ambiguous, even though he says your star is levels are back to normal, but you don't see Strat again. And in the movie you do. So that part is kind of like tied in a neat little bow. But I did something that
After a job
normally,
like that, she just goes and hides. Like that's right. You never see her again. That's exactly right. She goes and lives in the forest in like the deep.
oh, for sure. Yeah. I could see Strat just like falling off the face of the earth. I did something that you normally do. So I had to look it up, because the ending is something that I think about in this book, and the movie kind of sparked it again, where it's like, why did he do that? Why did he leave him on this planet with this ambiguity of he could go home, but he doesn't want to now?
Yeah.
And Andy Weir said he left it that way on purpose because he doesn't know if he wants to explore another part of it.
Yeah, that's the way I took it. Like, I don't know, man. I'm in for the Andy Weir ride, but it felt pretty like that was the right way to end it, and that him teaching on Erid was just like it felt full circle. Um, yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
I know, and that's really not his thing. He really does like The Martian's a standalone. He's not a series guy. Yeah, that's not really his well, not yet. I shouldn't say that. I mean, he could decide to do something.
It's ambiguous enough to have a potential second book and not be a standalone.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So I liked it, but I can't say enough. I think that this is such a great reintroduction to science fiction. I do.
Or if you're only reading sci-fi, I think you'd probably enjoy this as well.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. If you're a big sci-fi reader, this is great.
Put it on the list, people.
Put it on the list and see the movie. It was great.
Our podcast first.
We are now entering an interesting part of our podcast journey: movies plus books.
Well, I was thinking like full year, right? Like high five to us, full year, 1,000+ downloads. Thank you, audience. Thank you for following us. Thank you for downloading. Our listeners, one of the reasons we're here. We're here to share our love of books, but super excited you were on the journey with us.
Yeah. Well, that was really exciting for us, guys. You have no idea. We were like, yay! It was very exciting. So be sure to smash the subscribe button if you're more of a YouTuber. But follow us along, because we are on all the major platforms. We got Apple, we got iHeartRadio, we got Spotify. So make sure to follow. And hey, anybody, well, this will be coming out after BookCon, but if we see you at BookCon, can't wait.
We'll be in the shirts. You can't miss us.
We will be. Thanks for listening, guys.